Today, Women's Worldview will begin a new segment called Limelight with Masuma. Hostess herself is very pretty lady. She is the CEO and the chief makeup artist at her company called Makeup by Masuma. I must say, she's absolutely delighted, and I'm sure you all are eager to meet her. Of course, her good name, I must say, is Miss Masuma Papia. Let's also meet her guest.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Limelight with Masuma. I'm your hostess, Masuma Papia. This show is all about professionals, business owners, and people from different walks of life sharing their experience, their passion, their views, and their expertise with us. So for today's episode, we have a very interesting topic to cover, makeup. This is probably an area every girl lives and breathes. As a makeup artist, I know it's one of my favorite things to talk about. So today on the show, I'm honored to have a very good friend of mine, a talented makeup artist, and most importantly, a wonderful person, Shadi Mojgani Peikari. Shadi owns her own business, Makeup by Shadi. She's also an instructor and a teacher for an aesthetic school in the area. Shadi, welcome to the Limelight, and thank you so much for making it to the show today. I know you have a busy schedule.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Appreciate it. So I know you very well, but for our viewers, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, Masuma, as you know, I'm a makeup artist. I do freelance makeup. I have my own business. I teach at Aesthetic Institute.
Yes.
I have had a love affair with makeup since I was a baby, I think.
I think that's why we clicked.
Yes,
right away. Yes.
I did my first makeover on my grandmother when I was 11. And, you know, in high school, I did makeup for my friends, for parties, prom, homecoming.
Yeah.
And in college, I worked in retail.
Sure.
And I worked for a spa, and I freelanced a lot more. And I've just stayed in the business this whole time.
So I remember you mentioned the spa thing to me before. I know that's such a kickoff, such a good kickoff to a career like this.
It is.
Tell me a little bit about the spa experience. Was that, I know you said you were in college, right?
I was in college, and I started working for this spa. It's a full spa, and I was their main makeup artist. So we got a lot of brides, as you know. Brides are a big part of this business.
I think for any makeup artist, Shadi, you and I can vouch for this, brides are our main source of, like, that's where we get to show our talents, right? I mean, it's, so I totally agree with you.
And it's such a fun business because they're only coming to you in their happiest moments, right?
Yes. Yeah. So you started off at a very young age. Now I know you do have another profession. I
do. So during this whole time I was in college and I graduated, and I do patent searching.
Okay.
And I had kids, and when I had kids, I took off 12 years from all work. I took off. I stayed home with the boys, and I have returned full-time to makeup about 2 years ago.
Well, I'm so glad you did, because we've just clicked because of makeup.
We did.
Then we became friends.
We did. We've worked on many projects together.
Oh, we did, yeah, and I'm looking forward to many more.
Yes.
Shadi, so tell me, so you pretty much mentioned brides and things like that. Tell me, what do you specialize in? What kind of makeup do you do typically offer?
I offer all types of makeup. I work with a lot of models and photographers and brides and teenagers who are going to the prom or homecoming, but I also do fantasy makeup. I worked with a children's theater group for several years.
I remember that, yes.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, now theater makeup is completely different, isn't it?
Completely different. It's different makeup, a different style of makeup. It's everything about it is completely different.
And it is different than fantasy, which we're going to discuss right now, because theater is more for camera.
Yes.
Okay.
You make them camera ready.
Tell me about fantasy makeup. It's one of my favorite topics.
Yes, fantasy makeup is a lot of fun. We get to play, we get to dress up. A lot of the models for fashion shows, that's what we do for them. As you know, we do fantasy for them.
True.
You do the eyes, the glitter.
It's all about glitter.
It's all about glitter. Yes.
It's funny, in our little makeup artist group that we're it's a small group of us. I think amongst all of us, you're the most talented one when it comes to fantasy. First, you have to see her kit. It's just any kind of fantasy stuff that you need, it's in there. So I'm going to
Thank
dig into
you.
it whenever I need it. But I know you're very, very talented when it
Thank
comes
you.
to
It's a lot of
fantasy.
fun. It's like I said, it's just dress up, play, makeup. It really gets you to work those
In a different
creative
mode.
juices. Yes,
Sure.
it's super fun.
No, fantasy makeup's not for everybody, though, right? I mean, I know I personally myself do not really offer that to a lot of clients because first of all, it's time consuming. It's a completely different kit, you know, and you really have to be skilled. It's really sculpts your face.
Yes.
It takes you to a different dimension.
It does take you to a different dimension. And it's definitely not your everyday makeup,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
It's definitely for special occasions or
Sure.
special events.
Sure.
Definitely.
Well, I'm looking forward to have you on the show
Thank
later
you.
on, sometimes in the year, and I would want to see some fantasy work. Okay.
Definitely, definitely.
So, Shadi, we talked about technique a little bit. We talked about the different kinds that you do. Talking about technique, you know, I've always had one question that all my clients ask me, and it's the most, I think, asked question from everybody. Give me contour and highlights. That's what I want. I want contour and
Yes.
highlights first. Everything else comes second.
Yes.
So, for once and for all, just tell our viewers what's contour and highlight. Is it for everybody?
So contour and highlighting is a way to sculpt the face and to highlight your best features.
Sure.
It's a way to narrow the nose or create high cheekbones or maybe hide a double chin.
Oh.
It's all an illusion and absolutely not for everybody, no. There are some people, as we've discussed, who maybe they're very skinny, maybe they're very petite. I mean, it depends on the shape of the face.
Shape of the face, yeah.
And sometimes maybe you just need a little highlight on the cheekbones to
And no
just
contouring,
bring
yeah.
out the best.
I mean, I know, you know, working with different models like you and I do, it's so important to know the face shapes before you go into contour and
Yes.
highlighting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because we can't contour somebody who's already contoured.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and you don't want to draw too much light to your face by putting too much highlight. So it's
Yes.
very, very critical, you know, unless you're a professional, try not to explore with it too much because you may look a little animated. So it's very, very important.
Absolutely. And a little really goes a very long way.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to makeup, little always goes a long way.
A long way. You
know.
can always add, but it's very hard to take off.
out. Yes. Thank you, Shadi. That was actually, I would have mentioned that later on. We've talked about technique a little bit. The second question that a lot of people ask for, and I know the viewers would appreciate that, is, you know, I have under eye circle, I have dark circle. What do I need to do? How do I get rid of it? Just give us a simple solution.
So it depends on how dark the under eye circles are. If you have very, very dark circles, very blue circles under your eyes, you might need corrective concealer and then concealer. But for the majority, a good concealer would work.
Just any concealer, because it's, you know, I don't think it's feasible, and economically it may not be, you know, feasible for everybody to have huge things like we do. We have kids, we've got different things because we use them on clients. But for someone who's, you know, just starting off, it may not be a good idea to have different, what do you call it? Corrector palette or concealing palette.
Yes.
So just start with the
just start with
Skin tone.
very basic basic
skin tone. Okay.
skin tone, and the type of concealer or foundations that you use, it has to depend on your skin type.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. I do want to, like I've mentioned, we've got so many different products to put on. You know, recently I've had a client who's like, you know, why are you putting so many different things on my face? And God, how am I going to do this on my own if I were to do this?
Right.
Obviously, we wouldn't want you to do that on your own, which is why we exist. But if somebody were to try it, you know, a complete makeover, what's the very first thing that goes on their face, and what should be the last thing?
So the first thing that a client should put on their face would be primer.
Yes.
Would have to be primer, because otherwise you're wasting your product and your time. The primer will keep the makeup in place on your eyes and on your face, especially on your eyes, because they will come off.
Yes.
And the last thing should be a finishing powder, depending on the skin type again.
And primer is pretty much just an adhesive to anything, any kind of foundation, concealer that you put, just makes it look more flawless.
Absolutely. It covers pores. It can
a lot of
diminish
imperfection
some
goes away.
fine lines. Not a lot, but some. Enough. Yeah.
True, that is true. Thank you.
A good primer.
Yes, a very good primer.
Yes.
So invest into a very good primer and a very good powder to kind of seal in the makeup at the end, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I do have one more kind of like technical question for you, and that's skincare. Now, skincare, it's not just important to have good skin, but also to have your makeup look flawless, have your makeup look just, natural. It's important to have a good skin.
Yes.
What's just a basic skincare routine you can tell our viewers?
I beg of you, please wash your face before you go to bed.
Given, but you'd be surprised.
So many people say, I wash my face, and then there are 2-3 nights a week that they don't. It really makes a big difference.
I agree.
Wash your face before you go to sleep, and every day, please wear sunscreen. Please.
Now, would you do the moisturizer before sunscreen? Or do the sunscreen? Okay.
Absolutely. But do not leave your house without sunscreen.
Yeah.
Do not.
And I know there are different kinds, like different levels of sunscreen. I mean, as long as you invest into, I would say invest into a good one. It may be pricey, but a little bit goes a long way when it comes to sunscreen for your face.
Sunscreen should be minimum SPF 30.
Okay.
And it should have zinc oxide or titanium dioxide.
Oh, that's a very good, okay.
If it doesn't have it, don't buy it. Don't even bother. Yeah. And that should be an absolute must for everyone, young and old.
True. That should be, it's in the makeup Bible. I said it. I don't think it is, but if it's not, it's
I think it is.
Okay, good.
It's in there.
So just one last question. It is prom season. You've mentioned prom to me before, and both of us have been kind of busy. So just a simple prom look. If somebody cannot hire a makeup artist and she's going to her prom, how would she make her face up? Just a simple look.
A simple look, when you're talking about prom, you're talking about very young girls.
Yes.
And when you're that young, I really think a little lipstick, some mascara, maybe a little powder goes a long way, honestly, a long way. You need very little makeup for that age group.
And you wouldn't want to do a lot of high definition and a lot of drama, a lot of smoky eyes and things like that.
No, I mean, I have clients who do want that. And that's fine because I know how to create that so it doesn't look too made up for their age.
But prom is, I feel like prom makeup's kind of like bridal makeup, isn't it? It has to be very natural. You have to look like yourself and not someone else.
We actually spend more time on the natural looking makeup.
Yes.
We spend a long time to make you look totally natural.
That's why I say bridal makeup's the hardest thing to do because it's you want to look like yourself, not someone else, obviously.
And you just want to enhance the person's natural beauty.
Sure. So prom, just go simple, go
very
neutral.
Simple. Yes.
Try not to do too.
But a nice bright lipstick will just make it pop.
I think so too. I think so too. Like the theme proms. I remember my niece went to her prom last year, and it was 60s theme, and I did her makeup.
I remember it was beautiful.
Thank you. So I actually did a darker lipstick on her because I just thought it kind of highlighted that. That era and how they used to carry themselves with the hair and everything.
I love the 60s makeup. Oh, I love it.
You and I can sit here and talk about makeup all day, couldn't we?
And we do sometimes.
We do. Actually, we do. But I'm so sorry. All good things come to an end.
That's okay.
But again, we'll do this again. We'll hang out, and I think our viewers will appreciate this too. There's a lot of good information you shared with us. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, it was a pleasure. And Shadi, I wish you good luck with everything. I know you're doing so many different things as a teacher, as an instructor, and you're also a mother. So you wear a lot of hats, and
it's all good.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do it all like you're doing. So that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you find this segment very helpful. Her tips were really helpful to me. I know I learned a lot about it. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more makeup, beauty, and fashion-related topics, please email me at masuma.papia@gmail.com. So until we meet again, yet with another very interesting topic, stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy life, and bye.